Well, hello everybody. This is Margaret and welcome to the Boboleros podcast. This is a podcast primarily about knitting, but also includes inspiration from the worlds of the classical arts, music, and other random drippings from the brain pan. So welcome. And goodness, it's been a few weeks since I podcast, so there's a lot to catch up on. My post Rhinebeck haul and experience from being a vendor at Cakepalooza for the second year, which was such a joy and a thrill. And I'll share some of that with you, including some finished objects, one of which I'm wearing, which was kind of a surprise knit for me, inspired by Rhinebeck. And also we'll have a giveaway prize. I'll show you some works in progress and some acquisitions. So let's get started. All right, so I am just going to jump into some of the kindest comments that I received when we were at Cakepalooza vending. First off, I want to thank all of you guys that stopped by to say hello, to shop, to just give a hug. And I was so touched by your sweet words. And there were some words that especially meant so much to me, because sometimes I don't know whether to share the music side of my life, which is the major side of my life. And so many people stop by to thank me for the music I share, which made me so happy. So I'd like to start off this podcast with music because somehow, especially since we are post-election, there are a lot of feelings in the air. And I thought I'd share a piece by Chopin, which is a prelude known as his Raindrop Prelude. And there is a meaning behind it. And the reason I chose it is because in life, sometimes we have expectations, and sometimes they're met, and sometimes we are disappointed. And it seems to be just the way things are for all of us. And there is a passage from the Bible that I've always held on to, which is, "In my weakness, I am made strong." And so just in terms of feelings, this prelude is so beautiful because it starts with a beautiful, almost like it sounds like a summer shower to me. You know how raindrops could be so lovely and calming, especially when it's a light shower. But you probably, as well as I know, gosh, that when that is turned on its head and it becomes a furious storm, well, then it could also be filled with despair. So this piece demonstrates both sides of that coin, the hope, the lightness, and also the despair. So I just offer that up as a offering of peace in times of, perhaps joy for some, sometimes distress for another. So, it's like an Oreo cookie. We have, both sides. So I just like to offer this up to, just for the joy of it. So here it is, the Raindrop Prelude by Chopin. Okay, so I'd like to thank you for allowing me to share the music, and it means so much to me because I've spent my whole life with the piano. Primarily, a good part of it was the search for piano tone. That's a big topic. It was essentially a kind of quest, an internal quest that I had to find how to make a beautiful singing tone at the piano, something that was a lost art form. And it was something that I went to great lengths in my life to try to find, unearth. What was that lost secret? I had to go back to old books and try to find what was the difference that people did in this, what we called the golden age of piano playing. And one of the characteristics of that was this beautiful singing tone. And I had a hard time as a student finding people that knew of it, how to do it was much harder. But it was a quest for me. It was almost that I couldn't not play the piano without knowing how to extract the most tone out of the instrument. To me, there seemed to be no other way to do it. And then the quest to find how to do it became a quest that was not only intellectual quest to find books and some kind of people that maybe had a tie to that lost tradition, but it also became for me a quest of the spirit and a quest of the physicality involved in creating tone. And the way that just ties into the yarn, and especially that I am yarn dyeing, is that tone in colors and tone in sound is something that is so exciting, because when you spark something, it just brings so much joy. When two colors come together and they shimmer with one another, or when a piano, for me, when the melody starts to sing and this wood and metal instrument suddenly becomes living with a visceral sound, it's so beyond us. It's supernatural. It's something that is so thrilling. So thank you for allowing to share the music with you. And on that note, I want to jump into the giveaway prize. And I have randomly selected the number 13. And so I am going to put in the winner right here. Okay, so just to recap, the prize, hold on, was your choice of a skein from the Rhinebeck colorway that I brought to Cakepalooza, which is called Rhapsody, in either DK weight, and that's 100 grams, 245 yards, or in mohair, lace weight mohair, and that is the Marlena Kid Silk, Kid Mohair, 28% silk, 72 Kid Mohair, 459 yards, 50 gram skein. So that's beautiful. If I don't say so myself, just that story is so gorgeous. Yes, so your choice of either base. All right, so just quickly, Rhinebeck, I did not stay for Rhinebeck weekend, Saturday, Sunday, because Friday vending, it's so exciting, and it's just one of those experiences that it just takes a lot of energy. We had to wake up at like 3 to leave our house at 4 a.m. to get to the grounds to set up at 7. And, there's just like so many moving pieces. So by the time the show was over, we packed up, and then I had work the next day, which was, again, next year I have to plan better because I missed out on so many. I definitely had FOMO from seeing all the Rhinebeck videos. But just to say that the Cakepalooza experience was so wonderful. First off, Alyssa from Cake Yarn is amazing. And each year this festival grows, and it's such a beautiful community that she's created. So many incredible vendors. I got a chance to meet new people, new friends, Shamika, and she was my neighbor, and just wonderful people. I got to meet Sandy by the lakeside for the first time. It was just so much fun. And I want to thank a special thank you to my friend Mikiko, who helped me out at the booth. And, if it wasn't for Mikiko, I just don't think I would have the, brain strength to figure out the app that didn't want to connect to Wi-Fi, but she got it done. She's my friend since high school. We go back so far, and as of 2 years, 2 years ago, we started knitting, and that has expanded the friendship into another realm. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to my husband, Mark. Oh my God. The setup would be impossible also without him. And also he provided a lot of the laughs and the comic relief throughout the day. So I'm so grateful. And then grateful for all the people that stopped by the booth. So there are too many to name, and throughout the broadcast, as my brain expands, right now I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's so much to get through. But as my brain kind of coalesces to that experience, I'll be able to tell those stories a little bit more fully. But let me tell you the story of this, because it was inspired by a visit to the booth by Charlene and Crystal and Natalie. And first of all, you are so fabulous. And oh my gosh. Anyway, so I had my Rhinebeck colorway Rhapsody there, which I just showed you. And they were all getting it to make matching shrugs. And I thought, that is so cute. That is just so cute. So as I was dyeing up, I didn't have enough of that yarn. So when I got back from Cake, I dyed up a new batch for the order. And as I'm dyeing it up, I said, you know what? I'm going to join that bandwagon. I feel like making a shrug in that colorway. But as I started making my own skeins, I don't know, I went a little bit too heavy with the color, and it became something else. So let me show you. It was, again, like everything in my yarn life seems to be happy accidents. I wish I could take credit for it, but most of the time, 90% of the time, I start out with an idea and then something goes another direction, and I always surrender to that, because I've learned by now that there's a higher power that knows what's better. So I get out of my own way when it comes to that, and I came up with this colorway, which is called Spiced Gingerbread. And I don't know, it's just got all the colors but intensified, and the browns and the rusts, and I don't know, with the deep magenta and the deep oranges, and the way the colors just sort of melt into one another, it really is such a fantasia. So I started knitting up. I created 2 bases, the Vivian Mohare, which is so cool the way the dye took on the Mohare, and it's always a bit different the way it renders depending on the base. So here they are in pair, and so I cast on for a shrug in that colorway, and let me show you what emerged. And I really thought this was super cool. I just have a tiny swatch because that's as much as I worked up. So loved it, but those are not my colors because those are a little bit more autumnal. And instead, I said, okay, I'm going to keep this Rita bulky base. I used 3 skeins of the Rita bulky for this, and this is a Sunday Shrug. And the pattern is by Jackie Rose, and all it is a knit 1, purl 1 tube. And what I decided to do to sort of lighten it up for my, like I'm more of a spring color, and so I decided to take different color mohairs, like cream, like seafoam, iconic pink, and also a bit of the mohair that matches this in spiced gingerbread. And it was such a fun play in seeing how the color changed. I just am amazed at how much of a shape-shifting color, kind of fabric is created when the mohair is changed out. I mean, it went from this, which is beautiful, but I wanted something different, to this when put with the cream. Look at that. Isn't that neat? And then when I went into the seafoam, it emerged this way. I went back into a more white up here, and then I got a bit of the iconic pink. Here I went into, this is the matching mohair here represented. This is the spiced gingerbread. So you see how rusty that is in comparison. Went back into the white, another inch with the seafoam, and 2 rows with iconic pink, and then I bound off. And I kept going. This is quite lengthy as far as Sunday shrugs go, but I am just so fascinated by this. The speckle with the different alternating mohairs, and it's like, I don't even know what to say about it. It's just so cool. And I paired it with a tweed skirt because I wanted to sort of match the texture with something in my wardrobe. But of course, this could be worn with anything. I also was experimenting because this is, because it's so long, it's easy to kind of change up the collar and make it rolled down. And I also love this kind of look because, it just gives you more options, and you could play with it, and it could go, either down to your forearms or above your elbow. And so you could even like bring it down more so that you have this continuity sort of with the seafoam. Anyway, it's just so much fun. I can't get enough of shrug making, and I thought I was done with the shrugs for the season. I thought I was going to be like doing sweaters, but after Charlene's visit, I said, no, I really, have to get back to the shrugs. And anyway, I'm so happy. This was such a quick knit. I literally knitted up this week, a couple of nights with TV knitting, and it was essentially done. And I, again, can make it longer, shorter. Today I'm recording this on a Thursday, but tomorrow is Friday, the 8th of November. And tomorrow, kits are going into the shop, as well as this colorway. Again, it's called, no, that's not it. This is it. It's called Spiced Gingerbread. Perfect for holidays, but I mean, obviously this could be worn anytime. I mean, this is not holiday, but it is fun for that too. This version is called Iced, get it? Iced gingerbread, because the kit will come with all of the mohair that you need to make this version. Or if you prefer to just make a straight up gingerbread, spiced gingerbread version, which is, again, this, it's going to look like this when you knit it up. Again, I just think that's like such a deep and mysterious kind of color. If you want that one is called just Spiced Gingerbread Shrug Kit. So the yarn and the kits will be available on the website tomorrow, and just in time for holiday knitting. So that's what's been on my needles since I returned. I feel like there was something else. Oh yes. So at Cakepalooza, I wore my Chopin cardigan. This is a pattern that I am releasing soon. And like, I just love this so much. And I'm sorry, I hope that doesn't sound obnoxious, but I just love it again because I started it and it was going to be something and it turned into something different. The cabling is, what I like about it is that the cabling detail is only in the yoke, and you only have like 3 moments that you do cables. And otherwise it's just knit and purl, which makes it so versatile because, you know, you're not cabling throughout the entire thing. And then you're just coasting down in knit and purl, knit and purl. It's got a certain kind of shaping with a tiny rib at the bottom, which allows it to sort of balloon in like a bomber jacket. So it's a cardigan, plus it's got zhuzh. I love this rolled collar. And then, you know, the back is just such a featured thing. And, you know, a bit of ballooning in the sleeves. And again, a rib at the end. So it is, again, like not a long knit because the cabling is contained. I wore this at Cakepalooza, and I mean, I was being stopped on the street. I was going to the Price Chopper just to get something, which is the grocery store nearby, and people were stopping me as I was walking across the street to get into Price Chopper. Like, what's the name of that sweater? What's the name of that sweater? What's the name of that sweater? So I decided to really make this a very size-inclusive pattern, take my time, and nail it with the measurements, with the numbers, with everything. And so I am working with somebody to help me get all of, you know, the numbers. It's a very specific skill, and, you know, I can't feel confident enough to do it myself. So I've enlisted the help of a real skilled pattern designer to help me with making this vision come true. So it's going to have many size options, and this is knit in my Vivian Brush DK Mohare. And so my hope is that the pattern will be ready about the new year, which is, I think, fine, because right now we're heading into holiday time. Things are going to be really packed, schedules are packed, and this will be kind of nice because the holidays will be over, the new year, it'll be a quieter time to kind of like do a cardi. So another interesting feature is that it doesn't have buttons, but it has a hook and eye closure, which I did consciously because I wanted the line of cables to be continuous rather than stop it with buttonholes. So anyway, that's enough talk about this because, you know, I don't like getting excited about something and then it's not available. So just to say, it is in progress, and I will be looking for test knitters. I already have a few, but if you're interested in being a test knitter for this, I'm hoping to get this pattern ready in a couple weeks and then test it until January. So if you would be interested in doing that, just drop me a line, either here on YouTube, or you can find me Boboleros on Instagram, or on my website. You could contact me, boboleros.com. Okay, so let's move on to acquisitions because, that's it. I don't think I have anything else to show you of stuff I knit. Okay, but the Rhinebeck inspiration and vibes just kept going on and on and on. So among the great people like that visited my booth, one of them was Jennifer from Florida. And Jennifer is an amazing sock knitter, among other things that she knits. She's prolific, she's amazing, she's joy, complete joy. And she had the cutest socks on, and the color story was Dunkin Donuts. And she said, I love Dunkin Donuts, and I was totally in love with her socks. And so we were talking about who makes that and all this stuff. And so she turned me on to Etsy for some sock yarn. And although I couldn't find the Dunkin Donuts, I did find something else. So I want to show you this, because if this happens, which I think it's going to happen because it must happen, then I will have my first pair of socks made. Believe it or not, I've never made socks in my 25 years of knitting. It's unreal. But look at this, guys. It's a Burberry colorway. Is that not crazy? It's called Trench Coat, and it's self-striping. Look at that. Isn't that so cute, right? I mean, is this not nailed? This is completely, she nailed it. So the name of the dyer or the company is Turtle Pearl, striped turtle toes. And I love that it comes in 2 separated skeins. I love that for socks. I'm just so excited to start with this. So if you have any recommendations for a simple sock pattern for me, could you let me know in the comments below? My daughter Maia wanted also a set, so once she saw mine, I said, okay, yeah, we'll get you a pair too, because she loved it. So she's already knit socks, so she's way ahead of the curve than I am. But in any case, we have some socks going on the needles really soon. And yeah, I just like the look, I mean, of skirts with slingbacks and socks. And I thought, how cute would that be? Even like with a tweed skirt, to have like a handmade sock and the slingback. I mean, it's kind of, I saw it, there was a mannequin when I went into J. Crew, and it looked great. And the mannequin had on like burgundy socks, but I thought hand-knit socks could be even more, razzmatazz. So yeah, so okay, I got that, and that was so nice. My neighbor at Cakepalooza was Cape May Fibers, and oh my gosh, boy, this just was so beautiful. This is called cockle shell, this colorway, and right when we were wrapping things up and packing up to go, I was able to finally take a moment to shop a bit, and I saw this and I said, oh, how yummy. What a talented dyer, and what an absolutely lovely, lovely woman. She had the coolest booth, I have to say. Just beautiful. And so much care went into this. So this is the Surrey Silk Chunk. And she recommended a certain sweater that could be done with 2 skeins, which I forgot the name of the sweater. But in any case, it's 246 yards in a skein, and it seems like a very quick knit. So I have to cast on for something. It's the softest, sweetest yarn, and just love it. Couple of other booths I visited at Cake was Botanical Yarns. Oh, and I got a skein, again, sock yarn from my daughter Maia. I forgot to bring it here. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Here it is. Look at that. Isn't that so adorable? With the fluorescent speckled, or no, they're It's like a tweedy edition. This is so beautiful. They came all the way from England. What lovely things they had. And I think there was also a stitch marker attached to this, which was like Halloween-y. It was so cute. But I think Maia took that. This is called Lavender Neon Nep sock set. And yeah, with these two fluorescent pops. It's so adorable. So anyway, that's for my daughter Maia, who will be knitting some socks. I am sure of it. So there were some other knits that were samples for the show. And they are so fabulous that I am going to insert some videos here of it. But I want to show you, this is, I've shown this in the last podcast. This was hanging, this Soho Square was hanging in my booth, and I'm going to just take this off because it is literally 80 degrees outside today. I don't know, this fall is so, now it's caught on my earring. This fall is just so oddly hot, and it hasn't rained for over a month. It's just kind of, I mean, it's nice, it's really nice, but it's so weird. We've never had this before, but I mean, I'm not complaining because we have such wonderful days and stuff, but it's weird. Look at this Soho Square. Is this not a piece of art? This is a piece of art. It was not knit by me. It was knit by the fabulous and amazing Sherry from California. And so I emailed Sherry and asked if I could bring this as a sample to the booth. And so I did. And I had it hanging, like, so people would like walk by and like touch it because it's so soft and dreamy, and just admire it because, I mean, truly, it's so striking. The Soho Square is a pattern by Jackie Rose again. And so I just was like, oh, this is just so great. It was so wonderful because it was such a conversation starter. And then when the show was over, I texted Sherry and I said, Sherry, thank you so much. It was such a hit. Everyone loved this Soho Square. And so I'll be sending it back. And Sherry said, Margaret, I want you to have it. Sherry, I can't. I mean, it's so beautiful. I mean, I can't believe it. Like, I can't even imagine that such, I mean, we know as knitters what it means, like, to get a hand knit. And we know what it means to knit a shawl in fingering weight. We know the countless hours, the countless rows, especially these kinds of knits. They're like meditative, long knits. And Sherry, this is a gift beyond gifts. It's just, it's absolutely amazing. So I am so touched and so amazed by the goodness of people. Like, truly, how they are so selfless. I'm so amazed by this. So I just love it. I love it. I love it. And I treasure it. And I feel that, energy of love and beauty that you are, Sherry. I'm so grateful. This is done with, there's 4 colors in this Soho Square. And so this is one of the kit options in Betty Alpaca, which is a alpaca with some silk, fingering weight, and 4 color. And I mean, how sharp is that, right? So anyway, Sherry, you just nailed it. I just absolutely, I'm in love. In love, in love, in love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to show you another knit. Maybe I'll just put it on. It's so lovely. And it was also sample knit up for the booth from Stacy. So 1 second. Here it is. This is the, I'm going to put the name of the pattern here, but it is so cute with these like little poof sleeves. Ah, geniusly done. Wow, Stacy, this is such a cute thing. And so this is a Marl. And I love what Stacy did. She took one skein of the fingering. This is the Bridget sock weight fingering, and in my red colorway. What's the name of it? I forgot. Okay, and the pink, which is called Cheeky, and that Cheeky was in the alpaca silk, in the Betty alpaca silk. And oh my gosh, isn't that just fun? I have these kits on the website, so you know, you could find the color name of it, but it's just the dark red version. And again, I just think it's so cute with this like tweedy, any kind of tweedy pants or skirt, you know, just to kind of pick up on the texture. It's just fun and easy, quick knit as well. So I love it. I'm so grateful, Stacy. And I've said to Stacy, like when I got back from Rhinebeck, which is now almost 3 weeks ago, that I would just podcast with it on and then send it back. But it's been like 3 weeks, so I apologize. I've like been holding on. Did I kidnap it? Maybe. No, I'm not kidding. You're getting it back. I'm sorry. I've just been like in love with it. Okay. Onwards to inspiration from Rhinebeck. So I really loved Christy Glass's Tell Me About Your Rhinebeck video. Gosh, it was so nice to have Christy back. And I wish I could have like seen Christy and also, you know, talked about my Rhinebeck sweater, because I never got a chance to do that live. There was one time I did it when we were, you know, like not doing Rhinebeck because of COVID, but we did it virtual, and that was so nice. But I love seeing people's sweaters. So one sweater that came up was from Ujang from Loopy Mango. And I mean, she is always so cool, right? Do you guys know Loopy Mango? They're quintessentially cool all the time. I remember one of my first big like wow moments with knitting was when I made this like chunky Loopy Mango cowl, and it was just a simple seed stitch, if memory serves me, but because it was so chunky and oversized, and it was in this like blazing red color, I think it was called Riding Hood. I love that thing, and it made such a statement because I was wearing it with this black and white checkered coat for winter, and then this like oversized cowl, and it was really like a lot of people were like, where did you get that? And decided to start learning how to knit because of that simple project. So they have a way of making a statement, even with like something very easy, but it's so much a statement. Another one, a big Loopy Mango project. I've done so many, and each time I do it, it's really like, such a conversation starter. And I love that because you like talk to people, and it's just so engaging to do that. One time I made the boyfriend cardigan in the hot pink. I think it's called Spicy Pink. And oh my gosh, that was just the coolest. And I would wear it belted, and it was always great. And you like kept you warm. And then you know it's good when your 20-year-old daughter confiscates it. So it must have been good because she still has it, and she was once asking if I'd make another one. I haven't gotten around to it, but it's really good. It's really good. Another really good was the cropped cardigan, which I made that in
the Mrs. Orange. And again, phenomenal orange color. And that one was another conversation stopping piece. I remember wearing it on an Alaskan cruise ship. Yeah, we were in, this is like in 2017. We were on a princess cruise ship through Alaska. And I wore that, to one of the formal dinner nights with like a black dress. And this one lady, she just wouldn't stop like asking me about this sweater. And the next day I was like knitting on the deck and she came up to me and she's like, I don't know how to knit, but I keep thinking about that sweater. I kept dreaming about that color. I had to give it to her because like when you start dreaming about a color, I think it means that you need to have that color. So in a nutshell, I'm a huge Loopy Mango fan. I love what they do. I love their whole aesthetic. I love the fun and the play. So here we are. Tell me about your Rhinebeck sweater video. And Ujang from Loopy Mango is wearing this adorable sweater. She was, the one she wore on the broadcast was called the Florist sweater. So cute. So cute with all those like roses on or flowers. It was adorable. And then of course, as you do, I start like going through her, Loopy Mango Instagram feed and seeing their latest things. And then she had another posting from Rhinebeck where she was wearing something called the Flower Garden sweater. And that was very similar in concept, but it had something different on the back and it had a different color story, and I loved what she was wearing. So I had to get the kit. So this is the same exact kit for the colorway that she was wearing, which I'm popping up here. And yes, so it's in the Dream Yarn color Midnight. Wow, that's good. And then we have, this is that Mrs. Orange. This is that short cropped cardigan I made. That was the color. And yeah, that color is so alive. And I love these two. It's got 70s vibes. And this is Cafe con Leche. So all three together are just so happy. What a great, great concept. So I'll be casting that on soon. Like that must happen very soon. So I am super, super excited about that. And like recently, there's been a thing, I have to take the sweater off because it's just too hot. I want to show you a vintage thrifting, shopping. Really what I should be doing is cleaning out, like I should be, getting rid of stuff. Like people are like, you should do the Swedish death cleanse or whatever it's called, and like just do a purge of the things that you no longer use. I really need to do that, but instead it's more fun to go to a thrift store. So I've been getting some really fun things in thrift stores lately. I want to show you a couple of acquisitions from thrift stores. For those of you that like thrift store shopping, I get so many things in thrift stores and I love it. I love the thrill of the hunt, just love it. And I also really enjoy that the prices are more, reasonable. And it's just, you never know. I'm like, I love that kind of thing. So this is one bag that I got in the thrift store. I think it's from the 70s. And I just love this orange color. And so let me just show you inside. It's so cute. And even like with this outfit, it just makes it. So this is like really beautiful leather and everything. And so you sometimes never know who you might find. So this is, I can't really show it, but it's Bruno Magli. And it looks pretty old, made in Italy. Really, really nice. Good quality inside. It's even like this fine leather and everything. So I got this for, I don't know, like $40 or something, or 30. No, I think it was $30. $30, but it's just really good. I've seen I've seen suede handbags like this, like several $100s. So just love the whole size. I love the whole, like, yeah, like, hello, 70s are calling. I love that. This bracelet was like a $5 vintage purchase. I just like that it's so big and kind of got this rawness to it. You just never know. I think it was actually garage sale. Let me show you one other bag. Hold on. This one, I just love this one, really. Like, it was in the same place where I found that orange bag. Look at this. This one just was like, yes. Eel skin with this gunmetal hardware. I think I could put a crossbody on it if I really want to, but John Galliano. Oh, I love John Galliano. Anything. But eel skin, it just has a particular place in my heart, because when I was at NYU, I got this, my first wallet was eel skin, which I got in this store in Greenwich Village. And I loved the softness of that leather, and I wore it non-stop. And even it was falling apart, I'd still wear it. So every time I see eel skin, I'm reminded of those days. To be free and young, and life's a blast, and you see life with rose-colored glasses, so yeah, eel skin for the win. All right, so that's about it for acquisitions. What about gift knitting, guys? Are we gift knitting this year? What do you think? If I do gift knit, it'll be hats. One of the hats that I was like, I made this pattern. It's really a fun and easy knit. And I just mentioned this because I was thinking of casting on something like this for a couple of gifts for friends. I'm going to mess up my do, but who cares? Who cares? But this one is like fun and easy. It takes like no time at all, and it's that bubble stitch. So if you like the bubble stitch pattern, then this hat is like really fun. And it also has a cowl, which very simple to do. If you like the matchy-matchy, which I love the matchy-matchy. I'm not gonna like further botch my hair now, but this is just quick. And I like it because it stays close to the neck, and it's almost like a dickie. A dickie. All right, so a set. And so I have some kits which are in the shop. I just want to show you a couple. Like, if you need something quick, this is maybe something that might fit the bill. You can make a 2-color version. Like, this comes with the palm and everything you need. Size 13 needles. Works up like literally, you got it in 2 hours done. Here's another kit. I have many different options that are on the website now. Quick little fun, easy breezy gifts. Here's another one. This one's sexy. Sexy, red and orange. I like this palm. It's like brown, and it's got, like a little bit of copper accent. Really good times. And some fun sock sets too came into the shop. Again, holiday, if you want to knit for your friends or family. Cranberry Seder. This one is Sleepy Hollow, fun. And this one's typewriter ribbon. This one I had before, but I'm bringing it back because it's a beloved colorway. Look at that with the blue and the pink, the black. Yeah, very fun. All right, I think I've basically showed you everything that I've come prepared with. The last thing that I want to show you was another thrift store find, and it's a book, but it means so much. I want to show you. I've wanted to get this book for a long time, but it's quite pricey. So in the pink, Dorothy Draper.
Dorothy Draper.
Okay, my new dream is to have a townhouse from Italiante style, like from late 1800s, high ceilings, have to be high ceilings, with moldings. Because I love the look of Dorothy Draper. I mean, but you need to have height. Like, look at this door. I mean, oh my Lord. Have any of you guys been to the Greenbrier? I seem to have made it a tradition the last 2 years. It's started, this tradition of going with my daughter Maia to the Greenbrier Hotel just for 2 nights. And it's like a real splurge, but it's just like going into fantasy world. Look at how she did things, like with the black walls and these bold colors. And it was a mixture of Baroque elements with all of the, fanciful gilding, but then these bold geometric designs. I mean, when you walk into the Greenbrier Hotel, you're met with this kind of floor in like black and white checker board and red and green and vibrant. Look at this. Look at this. Look at, like there's trees in the whole architecture of this. Anyway, what a genius. I started to read a book about her, and amazing that like she had this vision. And in those days, women were like not doing this, and especially she was a debutante. She came from a very well-to-do family, so for her to break out in this way as a career person, as a designer, and to become so iconic. Look at that. I mean, the colors, the prints, the juxtaposition is just, I find that so thrilling. One of the things that you might see in back of me, one of my favorite pieces is, I would call this like a kind of Baroque inspired, I don't know what it is. It's a big mirror with a, like a console, I suppose. I don't know the story of this, but when I saw this at an estate sale, I just knew I had to have it. And I knew it had to go by next to the piano, because it just, I don't know, it's so grand. And I love it. I love it. And I almost didn't have enough ceiling space for it. So I remember when they moved it in, it was literally, I had 1 inch of space. So you see why. I'm going, like, I really pray to have like one day, like really high ceilings, both for, just the possibilities to do something Draper-esque, which is my dream. I want to like decorate in this juxtaposition of antiques and bold, modern, fresh, geometric prints and color and all this. This house is built in the 60s. It's like a bi-level, I think it is. So it's long, and it doesn't have like the really high ceilings. I also love the high ceilings for acoustics and for the pianos to really sound their best. So anyway, it's about dreaming and keeping hope and dreams alive, because without hope, then we're lost, right? So I'm so glad that we have knitting, our creativity, our creating to keep us going, to fuel us. And even an experience like Rhinebeck, where there is so much excitement around new knits and what someone knit and what they're wearing and what they chose to knit with and what they will be knitting, and that, like acquisition of new potential. It's so, like, there's the one part that we say, do you really need more yarn? But I think it's more the possibility of something fresh, of something new, of something, a new color, a new direction. It's just so great. Like even the this shrug, even knitting that, it was so fun. It just was like an endless, I don't know, like a discovery of how keeping one theme going and just overlaying, making the change with the mohair overlay, it creates a completely different color story. And I find that to be incredible. And you could almost think of this like as in life, sometimes we could keep the same routine, maybe the same job, maybe the same, like I had the same thing for breakfast, I'm going to the same job, I'm taking the same route in the car and doing things the same way, but changing maybe the mindset or the perspective on how we do that thing, it does change the whole look. And so with that, I think we should close the podcast today. I want to thank you so much for listening, for joining, and please let me know if you'd like to be a test knitter for the Chopin cardigan. Again, early 2025 is the projected release date of the pattern. And yes, until then, this will be in this shop, and all sorts of hat kits and sock kits and yarn and things for holiday. If you should be looking, and what else? Just happy creating, happy making, and I'll see you very soon.